Hi, my name is Chris Sturp. We're going to be talking about some ACT practice for you guys to be using in your class. We're going to focus on 7 different questions that are math types of questions you would see on the ACT test. They range from a low scoring student, we get this right, to all the way up to a high scoring student. So our hope is perhaps you, when you recognize these problems later, that you will be able to get it correct on the ACT. So the first problem we want to focus with is similar to what's on your pretest. It says sales for a business were $3 million more the second year than the first. The sales for the third year were double the sales for the second year. If sales for the third year were $38 million, what were sales in millions of dollars for the first year? We don't need to worry that it was in millions. That's a big number, okay? So the portion here that says $1 million, and we know our answer will have to be millions of dollars. That's what it would have been at the end of the test. But when you're talking about millions of dollars, you're talking about a lot of zeros that you're going to put in there. Let's not worry about those values at this point. So sales were coming. We're talking about 3 different years. So I'm just going to label. We have our first year, we have our second year, we have our third year, and we need to develop some sort of equation for each of the years so we can compare them. So if we add them all up, we would have our total sales, but we're unknown right now. So it says sales for a business were $3 million more than the second year. Remember, I'm not going to worry about the millions. I'm just worrying about 3 more. Okay? So sales for a business were 3 more than the second year than the first. Okay, so we had $3 million more. Now remember, I'm not going to worry about 3 million. I'm worrying about 3. I'm condensing it down. It's going to be smaller numbers to deal with, exact same math operation. Let's take a look. It says, and sales for the third year were double the sales for the second year. So sales for the third year were double this. Well, what were the sales for the first year? We don't know. It's unknown to us. It's X. It's a variable. Okay? So let's go through how we got our things. So we said sales for a business were $3 million the second year. Well, I didn't know what the first year was, and after reading the whole problem, I still don't know what it is. So, but I know the second year we were able to make $3 million more than the first year. And again, I know that we're going to carry millions of dollars. At the very end, our answer will be in millions, but we're not going to worry about the millions at this point. So, the sales the third year were double of the second year. So whatever the second year made, which was X plus 3, we're going to double that. And we're going to put it as a quantity. We have to double the whole thing. If the sales for the third year was $38 million, what was this? How much did we make our first year? Okay, so if my last year here made $38 million, and remember, I'm not going to worry too much that it's $1 million. I'm just worried that it's 38. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take this problem, and I'm going to set that equal to 38. Okay? Now in math, Algebra 1, even before that, 6th, 7th, 8th grade math, you learn to distribute. So I'm going to distribute over. That's another way of multiplying. So I'm going to go 2 times x, which is 2x, times now I'm going to add, because that's a plus sign here, I'm going to add 2 times 3, which is 6. And now we can go ahead and solve this problem. So it's a simple now Algebra 1 type of problem. It's going to take us 2 steps in order to solve this problem. The first step, I'm going to subtract 6 from either side. And then I get 2x is equal to 32. And then from there, I'm going to go 2x is equal to 32. I'm going to divide each side because 2 and x are being held together by multiplication. And so I'm going to find that x is going to be equal to 16. Well, what does x represent in this case? It represents what we labeled as our first year. How much, if the sales for the third year were $38 million, what were sales in millions of dollars for the first year? Well, we solved it to be 16. So it was $16 million were made that first year. Okay? Next, I want to talk about how we're going to change this problem a little bit. So the next slide is going to show you where some unknowns are going to go.